Today, I want to give you a peek inside this classic math book called First Year in Number. And it is an elementary math book, a beginner math book that's very conservative. And part of what I love about this is actually the pictures. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. This was published back in 1912, and it's perfect for homeschoolers who want to use a more conservative classic math book as they're beginning to teach their children numbers, adding, subtracting, basic math. I love just the whole feel of this book. I used it with at least 3 of my children when they were first learning math. It's a delightful book. So let's go ahead and start taking a look inside. All right. So here we've got a table of contents, and it's teaching your basic math, everything from number recognition to your basic math, and it does it in such a delightful, gentle way. Look at these delightful. You start with these beautiful pictures with children and farm animals. So they're learning to just count, recognize numbers initially. This, I remember, was a fun little exercise where they were making pictures with like toothpicks or popsicle sticks. Here's one where they're pulling out their blocks to copy figures. Okay, and again, they're learning the numbers, the word for the number. They're counting objects, and this is something that can easily fit in as you're doing regular math, like we need to put 4 spoons on the table. Let's count them out. If you're doing that type of math already, this just goes along perfectly with it to reinforce what you're teaching them throughout the day. So again, all these beautiful pictures, and I want to see if I can find. There's some that particularly show it, but what I really love about it being from 1912 is boys are presented as boys, girls are presented as girls. There's a strong nature feel where we're counting animals, and it's like here, it's 2 boys and 1 boy are how many boys? So you've got just this gentle farm feel to it, which I particularly love. So we'll keep looking through. Like here, look, the girls are in pretty little dresses. We've got chickens. So as we go a little farther in, it progresses to now we're counting how much we're going to pay for an item. Now, obviously, the prices are way out of date. You're not going to get a pear for 4 cents, but there's still the idea of playing store to learn their math is perfect. Right here, we've already introduced the idea of fractions, 1/3. But this is your foundation now that they're already learning parts, they're learning multiplication. So it's amazing how much is actually fit into this book. Even though it's a beginner math book, as you gently go through, they have the foundation for fractions, for multiplication, division, adding, subtracting, money. And they're also, like on this page, you've got word problems where they're basically shopping and adding up what they're going to buy. Here you've got measurements. And if I remember correctly, yes, they go through, they introduce the number 1, the number 2, and as you're going through each number, here we're at the number 12. So now they're teaching the idea of a 1 foot, 1 dozen that matches with that number. So everything is integrated and very much real life based, which I think is perfect. Math, if it's not based in reality, the kids are not going to care. They need to know that it actually applies to everyday life. So here, again, we're already doing multiplication, and this is a beginner book. I think, because I've used other math books before this one, I have actually seen books that one entire year they're learning adding, and then the next year they're learning subtracting. I think that is way too slow. I think they should be learning it all at once because they're all connected. They're all interrelated. Once they realize that multiplication is just fast adding, it's all connected. It does not need to be separated out into 4 years. So this book puts it all together. Okay, we're beginning place value here, where we're learning tens and ones. And another thing I really liked using this book is that there is a fair amount of just practicing. And here, this is something a lot of books take a bit of time to do. We're adding up 4 numbers at a time. So I have found that my children are very good at mental math. In fact, now that they're older, they'll be working through math and they'll just give me the answer. And a lot of times they don't take the time to write it down because they have this good, strong foundation to be able to do the math in their head. And I would credit this book with helping them to be stronger on that. Here we've got word problems that, again, I know people are kind of split on how they feel about word problems, but the fact of the matter is when you have word problems that make sense, it helps your children connect math to real life. For example, we're counting birds in a tree. We're counting paper dolls. We're counting eggs. Some of the modern word problems I have seen where, some kid has 37 watermelons, it's stupid, to be frank. Let's keep math relatable, realistic, so that when your kids are working through it, they're like, oh yeah, I can totally see myself in that situation where I need to do that math. And it makes sense. All right, so again, there's a nice mix of, we're already in division here because basic math is all connected. It should be taught all together. And again, you've got a nice mix of word problems and just practice. Here we've got area and perimeter that we've already introduced. So once they get through this book, they have basic math pretty much conquered. And then after that, you can start working in more advanced math. We've got time right here. Here's some games in the back using things like dominoes, spinners. Here's some drill games. So this is just a very solid introduction to all your basic math that some curriculums would take 4 or 5 years to teach. As you just work through this, the pacing is good, and it's from 1912 again, and I just love how it's conservative. It's boys are boys, girls are girls. There's a strong, just real. We're counting food. We're looking at animals. It's just a gentle, beautiful feel to it. So this again is called First Year in Number. This is of course, a public domain book, and I send out public domain PDFs every week in my email list that you can join, which I send a variety of homeschool, homesteading. I even throw in some older law books if you're interested in that type of thing. So you can join my email list to get a free PDF every week. I also have this available in print, so you can check for those links down in the description. And I hope you will join me next time for another peek at a public domain book that is still useful today. My name is Heidi Cooper, and my business is Cooper Family Printing. We have custom spiral printing. We have public domain books available. And again, we have that weekly email list that we send PDFs every week for you to enjoy. I'll see you next time.